Because we've never built our business on wanting people to use their phone all day long. We do not want that. We want you to have a great life, and that means you're not going to be using your phone all the time.
The Apple Watch Series 4 was another big,
Yeah.
thing during this keynote. It has a lot of impressive health features.
Yeah.
How is that important for the company? What can people expect?
What we found out through the years is, one, the wellness aspects of the watch. It's really making a difference in people's lives. It's creating an environment where they want to be more active. And arguably all of us need to be more active. And also the heart features on the watch have created such an environment that because your heart is being monitored all the time, the watch has been providing alerts to people where they found out they had problems they didn't know. And in many cases, catastrophic problems that they didn't, or would have been catastrophic problems if they wouldn't have been alerted. And so now we're going to take this even further. We're going to ship later this year the very first over-the-counter ECG available. And the whole idea behind the watch is to make you better. That's the objective. It's to get you to exercise more, get you to move more, help with your health. I mean, all things that empower people to be better.
What was the feedback that you've heard, and how is that important to you and Apple?
Through the years, I've gotten so many notes, I mean daily kind of notes, from people who have found out they had problems that they didn't know that they had. These are problems with their heart rate. Maybe the watch provides you a notification that you have a high heart rate during a point in time that you're not moving. And so we provide notifications, and then of course that prompts them to seek medical help and or treatment if it winds up in that. And I've gotten so many of those that said, "Thank you for doing this. I would have never known, and my doctor said that I might not be here if I would not have taken action and gone to the doctor at the appropriate time." And so Apple has always been about finding this intersection between the liberal arts, humanities, and technology. And so we have always infused humanity into our products, and arguably this is the ultimate display of that. That give people life, and so it feels great. Some people are spending too much time in certain apps, and we want them to know that, because we believe that if people know what they're doing, that they're in the best situation to decide whether they really want to be doing that or not. And so we're reporting things like how many notifications you get, how many times do you pick up your phone during the course of the day, how much time are you spending in each of these apps during the course of the day. And then you can set your own goals of, I want to take this one down by 10% or down by 50%. Or you might want to say, I want to curate my notifications. I don't really want this many notifications, or I don't need that many. You may want to cut the amount of times you pick up your phone. And so all of these things, we're giving you the power to decide for yourself with this enormous transparency. Because we've never built our business on wanting people to use their phone all day long. We do not want that. We want you to have a great life. And that means you're not going to be using your phone all the time. But we want the time that you spend on it to be incredible, where you can do things that you've never dreamed you could do before.
I've used it, and I was surprised with some of my results.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time on social media, but were there any surprising results from your screen time?
I think there's going to be surprising things for everybody. And there were for me. I know I was getting too many notifications. And so I looked to see who was sending me all these notifications, and I began to cut. Because there are so many things in life that you don't really need to know at the moment. There's a lot of things you want to, but so that was a learning for me, and I think I'll continue to have more, because the great thing about this is you can look at this every day, or once a week, or across a longer period of time if you want more data. But we're putting the power in your hands to make the decisions. And sort of like what the Apple Watch does with telling you how many calories you burn for the day. It's sort of a moment of truth to look at this report to see where you're spending your time, which is arguably the most important decision all of us make each day of our lives.
Any habits you think people will be changing after they see the results, or any tips on how to decrease their screen time?
Well, I think, you know, all the research I've seen says to make small changes in your behavior and continually make them. You know, if you're losing weight, it's lose a little each week. If you're wanting to cut your screen time, cut it by a little. But over the course of a month or 2 months, a little adds up to a lot. And so I hope that people use it and make the decisions and become the person they want to be. You know, that's the whole idea of it. You think about it, we used to carry a separate camera. We no longer have to. We can make photos as good as a professional photographer. If you think about the power that's in an iPhone, it's unbelievable. I mean, it's the power that used to be more than in a mainframe when I was growing up. I mean, this is incredible. We can now perform 5 trillion operations per second with this iPhone. This is hard to even fathom. Using machine learning, we can do a whole variety of things across the phone. And now your face is your password. We could have never dreamed this when I was growing up. I mean, I'm not even sure we knew what a password was. A password was what you said to get in the door.
And now you've had several years in the tech industry. Where do you see it going in the next, say, 20 to 50 years?
Well, I think the great thing about our industry is that you can do about anything you can imagine now. I mean, it's unbelievable, the power of machine learning, the power of AR. You saw a demo earlier of augmented reality. I mean, I think that one day we will wonder how we ever lived without it. Because in conversations that we're in, we can have a much more enhanced conversation with the power of AR. And so I think you pull all of these tools, and the great thing is that for today, all of those things are possible on this iPhone. I mean, the future is now. It's unbelievable the power that's in the palm of your hand or in your pocket now.
So what can consumers look out for on the new iOS 12 and the new phone?
There are lots of great things in there. You mentioned screen time earlier. You're going to find the performance much better. Apps are going to open much faster. You're going to have, on this phone in particular, you're going to have up to 1.5 hours more battery life. Everybody wants battery life. You know, it's an essential thing. You're going to see a great new feature like Memoji, where you can sort of customize yourself in any way you want to, and write embedded in messages where you really are talking to your friends and your family. And so the list here is incredibly long. And keep in mind that this is the place for augmented reality. This is the best phone for an augmented reality experience. And the number of these that will be coming out, you played some games earlier, but the number of these that will be coming out across all aspects of your life is just going to be exponential.